Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. For almost every Colossus, well actually for every single one, you have to skip a scene in order to actually start the fight. But in pretty much all of them, if you skip the scene before you actually see anything, if you just start it by mashing start, oh darn, I messed up already, then you won't be able to move for like the first 5 seconds of the fight, which, if you want to go for consistency, is a real problem.
That's very hard to get really impatient because of that.
Every time you have to retry. Down there. I can't see a thing. Okay, I got it.
It's just like TV.
No, it really is that dusty in the game.
So yeah, for those who don't know, this is Shadow of the Colossus, like the most classic PS2 game, basically. And the goal in this game is to kill all of the giant monsters by climbing on their body and stabbing their weak point.
Which is most often their head.
Yeah. And so, if you think God of War is epic or any of those sorts of games, you have this game to thank, because pretty much every single game after this was influenced by Shadow of the Colossus.
The kind of game I'm doing right now is not actually proceeding through the game. I won't actually beat the game. Rather, after you beat the game once and you save your file and start it again, then you have the opportunity to go and do a time attack for every Colossus. And so it's more like a series of ILs than actually playing through the entire game. Oh, the arrow?
Yeah.
I just do that to kill time.
Oh, okay, so it is just a time thing before.
Not exactly showboating.
I just wasn't sure if it was like you have to shoot a signal.
No.
But yeah, and the reason that you're not doing a full game run is because, as nostalgic as people are for this, there's a lot of horseback riding through empty areas.
Which I find to be still entertaining and, atmospheric, but
yeah, it doesn't translate so much to being great to watch. Excited for the HD remake coming out?
Well, sort of. I don't actually have a PS3, but if I ever get the chance to play it, I'm very excited. Whee! Oh, I didn't make it. At this point, it's faster to just retry it.
So, where are the little bars and circle on the bottom right?
The pink circle indicates your grip as you hold on to things, basically. Then it decreases, and once it completely disappears, then you have to let go of whatever you're holding on to. And the red bar is just your standard health. The blue bar up at the top is the health of the Colossus. I got up there a little bit faster this time.
You still on the laptop? You're good one.
Forget it.
Just go ahead and turn them on. I'll turn them off soon.
I'm disappointed I couldn't get that skip. I usually manage to do it. You can, as he swings his whole body back and forth, you can usually jump up onto it. But
that skips a lot of this climbing around. bosses are basically a puzzle, right? And so by doing that, you skip pretty much the entire puzzle, or you still come back here.
No, you still have to come back here. Every weak point you still have to eliminate on all the bosses, with a few exceptions, sort of. I'll get to that when I come to it.
Okay. No spoilers for the chat.
It's been a long time since I actually fought him this way, but it's still pretty easy. Yeah. Also, with this guy, oh no, I didn't. With a lot of these enemies, they try and shake you off as you go in to stab them, and so usually there's a sweet spot that you can hold on to where, as they shake around, you're not actually imbalanced by it, but you can still stab the mark that you're trying to get to. I still got under 2 minutes. Of course, that's just by the game's time. I think we start once. One thing about playing through the game this way is that I don't actually have to do all of the fights in order, but I figure it would be better if I do, even though I have to crisscross in between each one. It's only a matter of a few seconds. It only really becomes a problem if I mess up and I skip a row or something, which has happened in the past.
Yeah, probably when you get towards the end, you can't count down the sides that easily. Oh, this boss has a crazy strat in the IO.
I'm not sure I'll be able to get it. I can sometimes I can. I think I'll try for it twice, and if I don't get it, then I'll just shatter his armor. Okay. Hard, very precise timing. And I didn't even get the jump. That's weird. Why isn't he stabbing? The AI in this game, sometimes it can do things that you just don't understand.
I guess see why this game is just so epic.
It's also very finicky. Yes, it is remarkably scaled.
Yeah.
Ah, no, that's not it.
So you jump above his little gauntlet and grab his arm? Does that work?
That's how it works, yeah. Now I'm going to fight him the normal way, which means I have to bring him away from that platform in the middle. I wish I could have gotten that one. If he would actually move, it's frustrating.
Yeah, isn't this boss, like, when you get another jump, there's quite a bit of luck?
For me, it's luck. Some people may be able to do this. Now that he's gone away from there. Oh. He has a weak spot on his torso there, that's why I'm aiming for that. This is the way you ordinarily beat him, is that you get him to smack that giant platform and it shatters his armor. But you can just vault over the whole thing if you're tricky. Oh dear. take it before I have to. No. I don't think I took out that weak point quite. But I can still climb up from here. I can jump to his arm from his belly. But I might as well take out this weak point as long as I'm here.
It sets you up with like default amount of grip and health, because in the main game you can extend that, right?
Yeah. In this file, I've already beaten the game once, and the main way to increase your grip and health is by actually killing the Colossi in the game. And so, if you look in between the fights, if you look at my grip and health, they're much bigger than what they are in the time attacks. So, they have that set up for the time attacks differently than the rest of the game.
That's pretty cool though, because I know there's like other ways other than the Colossi to increase your health, so it's nice they just overplaying for them. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go check on donations real quick.
Alright.
Alright, doesn't look like there are any, but remember that we're giving away a Mr. T Perler from Earthbound. And so donate $5 or more if you want to be entered in a drawing for that. This is what it looks like. And it is fully reversible. So make sure to get your donations in. There we go. Now that I've vaulted up to this isn't the way you ordinarily fight him. It's much more complicated. Whoa. There we go. Nice.
Oh man, I'm so glad I was able to get that.
How much did that skip? Just,
the way you ordinarily get get onto those things on his tail, basically, that you can climb onto, is that you have to go through this whole elaborate thing where you hide underground, and he looks for you, and it takes several minutes. And let's see.
That did not take 7 minutes.
Yeah. No. Okay. I mentioned many of the Colossi have like a sweet spot for their heads. This guy, his whole head is a sweet spot. It doesn't matter where you're grabbing on. He can never shake you off. He can never even distract you if you're standing up there.
It's the only other one weak point, more or less, too.
So getting that skip basically negates the entire fight.
Yeah, because I guess they realized if you can hide it underground, once you get up there, you definitely would end the fight.
So that's one of the more interesting puzzle aspects. haven't seen many recent things. I'm not exactly... Well, most of the videos that I saw that have records were made, you know, 4 or 5 years ago.
So it's kind of like, yeah, a lot of games seem to reach a point of the highest and they just kind of...
I still think work on it can be done a lot. But, yeah, not many people doing that are working on this game.
Maybe with HD, they'll,
yeah, it could definitely generate interest.
Work it, yeah. Especially if they're making gameplay changes, because there might be new tricks, or some tricks might not work anymore. First I thought you died. Is that also like an air meter? Or
Yeah.
Maybe that's just stamina.
It's like stamina, strength. It applies for your abilities to shoot with a bow and stab as well.
It's your everything meter.
This guy, I've done this intro so many times because every time you actually get to the part where you can fight him, you have to do all that swimming and you have to get in. So if I get onto his wing at 50 seconds, then it's usually a good intro, and I was a little late on that time. This, I'm actually going to go, he has 3 marks, one on his right wing, one on his left wing, and then this one on his tail. Ordinarily, the fastest route would be to go and get the one on the left wing before going to the one on the tail. But I've had horrendous problems with taking out the one on the left wing, and then even if you're holding down R1, which is the grip button to hold on to things basically, then it'll just drop you regardless. So I like to take out the left wing last because if you drop down, then you're going to drop down anyway because you finished the fight. It's a little safer, not as quick though, but more consistently quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I've got this fight.
It's just not struggling. How hard is it to find the sweet spots? Are some of them just really exact?
Yeah, I think it varies a bit. This part has a fun little bug. There are quite a few bugs in this game that you probably never know about. The game expects you to be in water when you get hit by all that black stuff that hits you at the end. But when you do it on land, then it plays the music again from the beginning of the fight. No, it didn't do it that time? Darn it.
Marathon luck.
Maybe I just couldn't hear it. Oh well.
Yeah, I think it's kind of quiet.
This next one is by far my least favorite part of the run. This enemy, he does have a trick to him where you can grab onto one of his arms and launch you up to his chest or his face or whatever. But I have not been able to get it consistently to And so I just fight him the way you're normally supposed to, which relies on him a lot, on the enemy AI, to react to what you do. And it's very precise. He makes all these little side steps before it finishes, and it's just aggravating, as you'll come to see. Whoa! Usually not that slow.
That's pretty close to getting hit. Is there a danger of you dying in these?
Oh yeah. Especially the last fight. At this point, once you're hiding under this, then he turns around and he lowers down. But you'll see the steps that he makes. He just does these little tiny baby steps at a time, and just want him to get on with it. And then you grab onto his epic beard. That actually went really well. That was
really good.
a little later than some of the best times that I've gotten. Just yeah, much better than it could have gone. I've just out of
Just in time.
but at least with after my least favorite fight, I get to follow it up with probably a gauntlet of what I consider the most entertaining ones.
So how much faster is it would just be at the beginning of the fight, you run, jump on his arm, and like fling up? Or?
Yeah, that was about 2.5 minutes. Flinging up would probably take about 1 minute. This one I used to really not like at all, but once I started speedrunning it, I figured that I could do it consistently. In fact, a lot more consistently than some of the other fights. It became, well, more entertaining because I felt competent on it, I suppose. That's not the best grab spot, but it'll do. Interesting to note here, these little electric spines that he's got. You stab them and they reduce his health, but you don't actually have to take them out. You can just go right past them and up to the weak point on his head. But I take them out anyway, just for safety's sake, basically. Oh, I didn't get it. That's bad news. Also of note is that every single attack that I do in this fight is what's called a jump stab, which is different from the regular grabbing onto something and wow, I'm doing so poorly. Different from grabbing onto something and taking it out by stabbing it ordinarily. You can jump in the air and stab quickly, and it does a full power stab, but I don't do this ordinarily because it takes a long time to pull the sword out afterwards.
Oh, but since you're underwater.
Yeah, basically.
Because you're stuck into the tunnel.
Darn it. I can usually get that in one cycle, but it's going to have to take me 2 this time. But that's one of the reasons why I took out those spines, because if you try and just dash right past them, and you don't take it out in one cycle, then you have to dash past them again. You usually get hurt enough that you just die. Just grab his attention. One of the more frustrating things to do is to try and get it to come up. There he goes. That was a much better one. I could have never gotten that the first time.
I just sent you a bit ahead of. I saw that you know more about this game.
Oh, that was fine. As you can probably tell, dodge rolling everywhere is a little bit faster than just running. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I'm gonna wait here because I'm gonna be shocked. This should be fine here. Oh. No, I'm not gonna make it. Darn it. Alright. This should be into it. If I can see. Oh, one of the really bad things about this game is it has a pretty awful camera. And it can really mess you up at the most inopportune times. Just gonna do one last time. There we go. That took way longer than it should have, but at least it's over now. This is one where I think you can't reach land before you get absorbed. Just as a brief overview of the storyline of this game, if you're wondering why the character is going around killing all these colossi and getting blown up by these black ribbons, well, he comes to this strange land and he brings his dead girlfriend with him to seek the disembodied power that he believes can resurrect her. And he tells him to go and kill these 16 colossi and he'll resurrect his dead girlfriend. That's basically it.
Does it have a happy ending? No.
Oh no,
Not at all.
the ending is bizarre, to say the least. This is probably my favorite fight in the whole game. And it's even more fun to speedrun. The whistle, it alerts the Colossus to your presence, which I want to do here, as it brings him up there. Oop. Where's that other leg? And I can shoot him down super quickly. He doesn't actually know you're there when you start out. Whoa. Oh, he's down. The whistle is useful in just a few fights. Ordinarily, it's used for calling your horse to you. Darn it. I think this is going to take two. Gee, the one that I thought would go smoothly, ones that I keep messing up on.
Oh, camera?
Yeah. But this one is pretty easy to remedy. Well, that stuff he's shooting, it produces gas that if you stay in for too long, it just drains your health instantly. We'll just climb up the walls. There he goes. Oh, and he saw me. That's okay, so I can get his leg. Just, there it goes. Oh, I didn't quite land that.
I can actually like jump as it falls.
I've never actually done it, but I assume you can. About a minute longer than I would have liked, but
Just because you have the two phases.
yeah.
Actually, looks like it's increasing your stamina health, so
It does it basically as it would be on your first playthrough without getting any of the extra stuff that would increase your health or stamina.
because there's like lizards you can find.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Lizards and fruit and different things like that.
Very easy to miss. Right here.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. This one, the way I'm just going to beat him normally. Again, there's a skip where you can jump onto him to a height where you're not supposed to, but I'm not able to do it. The way you beat him is you position him under a geyser and it tips him over. And pretty much everyone I've seen who's played this game has expressed extreme frustration with getting him over that geyser just in time for it to go off. And like it's taken them hours to beat it their first time, but for me, it was never really much of a problem. And it's even easier to do consistently if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like I thought were really hard, and then go to speedrun the game and it's like, oh, other people found really good strategies.
Yeah, that's good. Or at least it should be. It is. Watch out. No problem. Now that he's tipped over, he reveals his hairy belly and I can crawl all over it. keep holding on at this part, because when he gets back right up, if you're not holding on to something, then you go flying. Difficult to get it to where I don't think there is a spot on him where he tips his head like that. You can just keep on doing. You don't have to stop for a minute. But it's easy enough to get it in between the giant flails. It just means you have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah. Then he starts shaking you from side to side, and that's what it really gets annoying. I'll check it. It won't take more than a second. Oh, yep.
Good work on that.
There we go. Sometimes it does that. You jump onto him and it takes away like 3/4 of your health. I don't know why, but this guy has 2 weak spots. I believe it's possible to take out this weak spot without him going back underground, but it takes a very precise stab to do that, and I've never been able to do it.
Because when you go to do the stabs, you can charge them up, right?
And depending on how long you're charging it, it will do more damage. So you have to, that last one, if you do 2 full powered ones, then that last one has to be just the exact right amount in order to get him to take out that weak point, but not freak out, basically. Hey, I got it first try.
It looks like a one shot.
Yeah, I can be. Once
Because
you're
controlling
practicing.
the horse and aiming.
No, the horse is actually pretty smart. There's a lot of good AI in Team Ica games. Sort of. You can usually rely on it for the most part, but it has to do a lot of things, so sometimes it acts really weird. But the horse is probably the best example of that. Horse aggro. Because there are often times when you'll need to be just flat out running, especially in this fight is most notable. and you'll be focused on other things, but the horse will keep running at full speed by itself.
Yeah, because there's one boss in Darksiders that was pretty much ripped off because you're on the horse running away. You have to shoot back and the horn is chasing you. And you have to control the horse and just like, ouch. Like, you're not watching the map, you're just watching like the worm and dodging stuff. And so, like, so many times during that, just like run into a wall and then get eaten and die. So, that's pretty cool that the horse keeps running on its own. So I haven't plugged the charity in a while. All donations are going towards the Organization for Autism Research, which is an organization dedicated to researching ways to improve the day-to-day life of people living with autism, and they support applied research. So it's just stuff that will really make a difference. And then any donation of $5 or more enters you for a chance to win this Earthbound Perler. It's Mr. T, or it looks like Mr. T at least. And $10 or more enters you in the grand prize drawing for a Nintendo 3DS and Ocarina of Time 3D.
Oh dear. You know, I think I'm just going to restart it. Because once you start these particular bosses, once they maul you like that, you're struck down for a long time and they'll often just combo you until you die. So I don't want to be stuck doing that.
What's the general strategy on this boss?
This one, apparently he fears fire, so you have to get him to knock down a stick, and then grab that stick, and catch it. Oh dear. On fire. It's a little finicky picking up the stick itself though. And the camera doesn't help. I try and get it lit on this lower one though, because the whole objective is to push him off the edge. This one is much closer to it. So we've got him down here. Get over here.
Yeah, this is a really great game for a lot of variety and all the bosses and strategies to defeat them especially.
I like to give him one last tap before he falls off the edge.
It's a very nice touch.
Good. No, wait, not good. Oh, yep, fine. Great thing about this is, once you've gotten it down to this point, it only takes 2 stabs. Or it's 2 full power ones.
I'm gonna go check on donations again.
Whoa! I just switched weapons and it froze my model. The great thing about this game is you discover kind of weird things about it no matter how much you play it. Sometimes that's for better and sometimes that's for worse. It can be glitches like that, but it can also be just little details that they put in the game. For instance, I just recently discovered that this game has turtles in it. Where if you go around, sometimes you can see turtles walking around. And, you know, I bet 80% of the players, 90%, have played through this entire game maybe multiple times and never saw a turtle their entire time playing it.
Yeah. Alright, so we actually did get 2 new donations. Is it a good time? It's fine?
In just
Alright.
a minute, there's something I want to show off. Would you like to see the magic materializing molar? First you don't see it, then you do. Okay, that's it. You go ahead.
So we got $10 from Kathy Lucas. She says, "This is Carrie from the forums. Great run so far. Consider this a donation towards Lunk for the Zelda Link to the Past run, if you're still taking those." Indeed we are. So Lunk is now in the lead with $130. Puns is not too far behind, and Epsi is also pretty close. So if you want to see your name get chosen, just keep donating. And then we have a $500 donation.
Whoa!
From Kenneth Roos. He says that was all for Kingdom Hearts 1. So high roller in our midst, turning around the Kingdom Hearts bid. And so, yeah, thank you a lot for that giant donation. And
yes, thank you.
And,
that's extremely generous.
So yeah, that puts Kingdom Hearts 1 back in the lead by almost $400.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, many thanks for that, and both of you are entered in the grand prize drawing and the drawing for the Mr. T Perler. So if you want either of those, keep donating. If you want to see Kingdom Hearts 2 win, or your name for Link to the Past win, donate as well. And remember, it's all going towards a great cause.
People are gonna have to step it up if they want to see Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
I admit I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because that one's a race, and they're going to be doing donations for doing a lot of the extra content in the game. Whereas I believe Kingdom Hearts 1 is just the 80% mix.
That fight went perfectly, which is good because it's very difficult for me to consistently get when he brings his whole head down to try and jump onto it. I'm glad I got that. That's one that I've been struggling with.
Glad that worked out. I know some games have really awful water controls. They pay a lot of attention to how you control the water in this, or is it kind of one of those things where you dread the water fights?
No, it's pretty much. I haven't had any problems with it myself, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they paid so much attention to making the horse work well, let's see what I would.
Did I frack this guy out? this one, I really get to show off my marksmanship. Get it? No. Oh, I did. Yes. I almost never get that last balloon on the first try. This guy's a lot of fun. It's just a unique concept, I guess. Right. Now comes the tricky part. Nope. But all is not lost. Just find my horse. There she is. Not again. Usually I'm able to get it at least the second time.
How long does he stay down?
For quite a while. And you only have a certain amount of time before, like, he has 3 weak points all across his body. And after a certain amount of time, he'll close these flaps that are over them, which means you have to bring him down again. Well, and then right after that, he'll dive and go into the ground. And then when he comes back up, he's reinflated, of course. So you have to take him down again. But it doesn't matter if you get onto his body right after he comes down or a few minutes after. You still have the same amount of time once you're onto the body itself. I usually don't go up on the left. It's main controls. Probably the worst part about trying to get onto him is that you just can't see a thing.
Yeah.
Because of all the sand that's being kicked up. Like that. Shouldn't be missing it. At least that's what I should tell myself. Did I grab it? I can't even tell. Okay, I'm just gonna retry because it's usually better to get onto it the first time because you don't have to deal with all that sand. Oh, this is going so bad me. I mean this particular run.
Yeah, overall the run's been really great because you even set a new personal record.
sometimes when you bring him down, he curves around this big rock, but sometimes he just goes right past it around this way. If he curves around, then you can usually just go straight past it, and then you just intercept him right here. Then if you just run right at him, grab onto it then it gets you awesome style points.
Nice. Very good.
That was how it should have gone in the first place.
When we're uploading it online, we just cut that out.
There we go.
Jeez, that was close.
I'm usually able to make that jump actually. On this one, this mark, I do like to do the second one, a jump stab, because there's a weird kind of glitch with it, where often you try and stab it regularly, and it nudges you just a little bit. It happens almost every time, so you can avoid that with a jump stab. Doesn't happen with that one though.
Just that first one for whatever reason.
Whoa! Oh, that's bad news. Alright,
I was gonna say, no, it looks like, no, you definitely know what you're doing. All those jumps you're doing, it seems so perilous.
it is rather. There it goes. Hopefully it won't be quite as difficult to jump onto this time. Sometimes he goes really slow to the point where if you're galloping at full speed, then you'll far outpace it, like right here. But other times, he goes at basically the same speed as what your full gallop is. I think it's based on what the fins themselves are passing through. If it's more solid material, then it goes slower. But I'm not actually sure. Oop. I think I'll just walk to the next part. Well, I'll do some jumps. I often like to end the fights with a jump stab because, of course, doing a quicker full-powered one is faster than trying to charge up a full-power stab normally.
It's just sometimes when you don't need the full power, it's faster.
Yeah, like trying to do 2 jump stabs is a lot slower than doing just 2 full power stabs.
Black coating kind of on the side.
It's really weird.
That's why I love this era of games, because the graphics are great, but not so great that you can't find little things like that.
Alright, 3 more to go? Is that it? This one, well, ordinarily it would be one of the longest fights, but I think that one I just fought will be the longest one in this run. At least hopefully. I'll be fighting this guy the normal way. There's a much, much faster way to do it, but it's so difficult to pull off that it would practically just be fast. And, well, not to mention dangerous. It involves you getting very close to him, and he's another one of these pig guys. Or if he mauls you once, then you're dead.
I've never seen my friend fight this guy.
The idea is, you go through these series of pillars that you get him to knock down, and those open up the passageway. But you can cut right to the very last one that you need to go to, the very last raised archway, rather, and you can jump onto the Colossus itself, and then jump onto the archway. But it's practically completely random. I'm pretty sure that, I know he has to hit the pillar twice in order for it to fall, but I'm pretty sure you actually have to shoot an arrow at him in order to get him to charge at it the second time. He'll do the first time all by himself. Piece of shit. It's trying to jump from the top of the pillar as it's falling to get a little more height.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what happens if you miss that jump. I didn't realize it was
Little
going all the way down. This is the raised archway right here, where you can jump from the Colossus onto this and skip all that I just did, saving me about 3.5 minutes, as you can see. About. Probably closer to 3.
Yeah, because you do have to take time to get over here and jump onto him.
You really have to manipulate his position, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's more about just not dying. Oh no, please don't help me. Oh no. Oh, time to run. No! Oh, I think I might have to start over. Because he just combos you. You can't even get up. think I can salvage this. Maybe. Run. That was a really close call.
Yeah, you can see how they just basically lock it down.
Number 14.
Yeah, so there's 2 left after this. He's almost done with this one. Birth by Sleep finished about an hour early, or about half an hour early, so we're really on the schedule.
It wasn't the greatest, but I guess it was about as good as it can be expected for that one.
It was deathless, which is
Yes.
important.
I'm glad that I've gotten no deaths so far. Thank you, camera.
Shooting the cameraman, basically.
Now this next one involves probably the most difficult trick that I have to execute in the run. At least that's what I think. And it's certainly the one I've practiced the most. It exploits a kind of a flaw in the physics of this boss. And it's fairly difficult to pull off. I may have to retry a couple of times before I get it. But it saves a huge amount of time. Yes, got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What happens is, as he raises his right leg, yes, his right leg, if you do a side jump right as he does that, then it counts as you like getting boosted along with it, basically. And it just brings you right up to his chest. Ordinarily, you have to do a whole lot of climbing around the side of this area. And it
You
takes
like shoot a bunch of arrows at him too, right?
yeah. But
Yeah, everybody all crash after.
Yeah, basically, Kingdom's Heart Birth by Sleep happened. I put on a commercial, and then the room was empty.
I'm having some difficulty getting his head. Whoa! Watch out for that bridge. I don't think you can actually like smack it or anything, but you'll probably not find that.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts had a giant donation and pulled ahead.
Yeah, $500 for Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh yeah, and just a reminder.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, after this run is Ariel's
In a single.
And a single go.
from deprived a bit. But it's like Ian Cotter. But yeah.
That sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, just all towards Kingdom Hearts 1.
Trying to get my grip up before I go for his head again.
Well, it's still got a ways to go, so I'll probably go back and forth more.
Yeah.
Alright, that's
But I'm glad that Birth by Sleep was able to raise the money for its goals.
Yeah.
It came pretty close though for the challenges.
Yeah, Mercury Zelda donated, I think $30 right at the end to get it.
I think it was 30 overall, but it was 30, right?
Yeah, 20 right at the end. I like the 1999 donation as well, right at the end.
Man, I'm having such difficulty getting this. I've got
Yeah, you got
one stab off.
good luck right at the beginning, and then
Alright, that's got it though. Well, so, as I say that, it starts jerking me around again. He's got another weak spot right on his hand. That was close. And he's holding a knife in that hand. It's possible to drop down and just grab onto the hand without even having to get him to drop a knife. But the way you're supposed to do it is that you stab the back of his arm here, a little minor weak point. Weak point. What's a weak point?
So these two donations at the top, did you already read them?
the 10 and 500.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if you
that
can,
is-
but I'm going to
Yeah,
stab
yeah,
him here
yeah.
because
I don't think I was really tracking it. But,
it's super
they were
difficult
just
to.
reading the Google Doc.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's really bad. Really, really bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart.
Oh, that's too bad.
If I had just gotten that stab, I wouldn't have had to restart. That's what I was aiming for. Oh, darn it.
Hopefully we can get that skip again. Just,
Yeah.
otherwise, it's gonna have an extra time. Oh, yeah, and after this run, which is actually coming to a close soon, we have Toe Jam and Earl 2 coming up, and you can choose whether Arrow is playing Toe Jam or if he's playing Earl. And those are really close bids right now. One's at 46 and one's at 45, right?
Yeah, so 46.55. 55 is for Earl.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'm spending a $10 donation there.
Nice.
Well, these haven't been tracked at all, because this shows what Lunk at 120 on the document, but it's still 67 on the donation tracker.
Yeah, basically anytime I wasn't on the donation tracker, didn't get. Well, you probably.
So did you add the one for Lunk in on the little secondary screen or not?
I went to go at it and then I looked and I was like, it's not even worth trying. But as far as the secondary stream goes, I did add it on Monk, and Mike Miyama has been updating the Google Doc since I've been on the computer doing this run.
Okay.
What time am I currently at?
1 hour, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just hit 16 minutes.
That's my estimate. So I'm a little lower.
It's alright, you were a little under.
I guess that's true. There we go. Now, if I can keep on holding on, then I may be able to. Ordinarily, once you've done that part, then you can just drop down and get him to slam his hand down, and then you can grab onto his hand. But you can just. Well, you can grab onto his wrist there, but I didn't do it.
Okay, yeah, there was a donation from NTA for Earl,
Oh, okay.
and Mike had already put it in.
Did you have a comment?
Yeah. I'll read a couple comments here. We had a $25 donation from Mark Zazinski, who said, more Mr. and Mrs. MTI donations. Mrs. MTI would like $15 of this to go towards Kingdom Hearts 2. As for the last $10, Toe Jam Walk is weak, Earl Walk is strong. So $10 for Earl and Toe Jam Earl 2. And then we had
There we
a
go.
$20 donation from Paul Davies, who said, "Hey guys, I'm not there, but I'm trolling your chat as if I were. Play Kingdom Hearts 2. Wexel's cutting jives are top tier, but I'd like him to play stuff too."
Won't argue with that, I guess.
Mike, if you could tell me in chat real quick if you added that one on the sheet so I don't add it again. I'm not sure if you got that one.
Short stat like that. Again, that took way too long.
Just want to put a precise drops on that guy though. And the first time he used his sheet, he said so much.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Now it's only the final one left. And I would say this is probably the most impressive looking one if I get it right. Well, I mean get it right the first try. I'll have to do it correctly eventually.
Oh, and we got another $20 donation from Shane Hill, putting in another $20 towards my main alien thing, Toe Jam, for Toe Jam and Earl.
Thank you very much for your donation.
So that's going to put Toe Jam back in the lead. Since we are getting really close to the end of this run, really quick, I'll just mention for people who are interested, gameplay-wise, there's not a huge difference between Toe Jam and Earl. It's mostly cosmetic. Really, the only thing it comes down to in the speedrun is that Earl can push rocks a little faster, which really only comes into play like 2 or 3 times in the run, so it'll only take a couple seconds. Toe Jam has a smaller hitbox, which means the center of his sprite is a little lower. So when Toe Jam uses panic buttons, he can actually hit things with them, whereas Earl rarely does. So overall, in a single segment run like I'll be doing, Toe Jam ends up being a little faster just because of the panic buttons. But I practice with both, so either one's fine.
I already know I'm gonna get hit. At that particular jump, I shouldn't stop. I should start going. But I'm usually able to get that.
So you're trying to just run towards him without taking any damage?
Mm-hmm.
Without
Ordinarily,
using any of the covers, really?
well, I do use covers, but I'm also constantly running. Ordinarily, like the way you would do this is you kind of bob and weave. You get into a cover. You get into a cover and you peek out a little bit and wait until it fires, and then move to the next one. You just keep on doing that slowly. There's a linear path that you're supposed to take. Oh, thank goodness. But if you follow a very strict path, you can skip all that to where he will never hit you if you take the right path, basically. There's a helpful tutorial video that I found that outlines the path for you and explains it in detail. That was extremely useful figuring that out. Now comes the fun part. The camera would cooperate. Ordinarily, you would keep on going up until you reach his lower back, stab that, And he would bring his arm down, you can grab onto that. Or, you can shoot his arm from down here, and he'll bring it down to you. And even more so, ordinarily, once you reach this point, then you try and get up onto, oh, grab onto that. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Whoops. Oh. Ah. Funny. No.
Oh, jeez.
Alright. Oh, I'll explain the rest when I actually get back in there. Man, I never fall there. It's pathetic. Man, this isn't right. I almost never go to the spot, so I'm lost.
So, really quick, it looks like our current total stands at $12,982.49. So, we're almost to our, almost to 13,000 here. So keep the donations coming. You're doing great, guys. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that's close to our donation goal of 15,000 as well.
Yeah, getting closer and closer. I just took a power nap, so I'm so groggy, so I apologize if it sounds like I'm totally on crack or something.
You're better than all the other commentators currently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where's that? What's up?
Not much. Alright, I'll wait. Party's back on. It's all good.
Now, as I was saying, oh, grab onto something. Wow, that is so.
Looks like we have a couple more donations coming in. I'm waiting for the comments to load. Okay, so we got a $10 donation from Max Trunk, who says, Epsi for file name for A Link to the Past. Sharks are adorable. And $11 from John D. It says, nice Shadow of the Colossus run. Not everything worked out, but the game's finicky. Especially enjoyed the approach to number 16. Thanks for running it. Thank you for donating. We appreciate every bit you can throw our way.
Yeah, and finicky games are kind of staple of marathon running. Seems to be the
Even consistent games are finicky when you have the
yeah,
marathon.
marathon.
No, it's easy. No, no. No, no.
Will you just sink into his flesh already? Wow.
I bet everyone in the chat is just like, if this was on PC, I'd do that first try.
So it looks like for the A Link to the Past file name, it's kind of come down to a war between Epsi and Lunk.
Oh,
Both are
and
neck
Funds
and
is
neck.
pretty close.
Yeah, right now Epsi is at $121.61, and Lunk is just a little over $1 behind at $120.37. You know, the other names are a lot farther behind, but you know, easily just a few donations could put them back in the running as well. Or you know, someone who has more than $100 they're willing to donate that really wants to, you know, give a shout out or have their name in the game or whatever. You know, you can pick another name if you like. So keep those donations coming in. Another quick reminder, as Shadow of the Colossus is wrapping up, this is the last chance to donate towards the Mr. T Earthbound Pearler. There we go. I was looking for it. So yeah, any donation of $5 or more during this run will enter you in a chance to win that Pearler. So get those donations in. You're running out of time.
Oh my goodness. This is so not fun. This is bringing back bad memories of when I first fought this boss.
So you got to do
funny
the prize
isn't it,
drawing. when this
how
gets
you
done.
can, before you start, where you're actually streaming,
Yeah.
then you do it 5 times in a row and you get it perfect every time.
Oh yeah, I love before I go to stream, I'll practice like a single trick and get it down to like do it 10 times in a row or whatever, and then get on stream and be like, yeah, I can do this, and then immediately fail. But it's heartbreaking either way. Game's just not letting you get where you want.
Yeah. I hate climbing on his hands. Because I know any time that I let go at this point, I'm just gonna fall instantly. Okay.
Maybe grab down finally.
Let's see if I can actually do that. For this to finish. That's it.
Very nice.
There you go.
Turn your head around, sir. Alright, run's basically over. You're ready for time.
It says you're on the numpad, right?
Yeah.
I know something.
Okay. And time.
29:47.
Alright.
Well, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. It's like really hard to skip, and I'm sure Chad can understand me messed it up a couple times.
4 seconds. Quick, good. Line run. Nice run. Clutch. You beat it. GG. Nice.
Yeah, it's
Tie.
clutch, like-
Chain. Rats.